Hey, this is Pete with For Pete's Sake Have a Cigar. I wanted to share with you this new and exciting stick by Oliva. Stay tuned for this mid-stick review. This is Pete Strominger with For Pete's Sake Have a Cigar. Thanks so much for joining me for another mid-stick review. This new stick by Oliva, the Gilberto Oliva RESERVA, is probably one of my favorite cigars so far. It is definitely up on my top 10. I highly recommend that you try it. Starting off with the first impressions, the wrapper on this thing is absolutely gorgeous. It's like a paper bag brown, maybe just a little bit darker. Very soft feel. Very nice cap on here. It cut very, very easily. I actually forgot to smell this one, so my apologies on that one. I can't give you any first impression smells of the wrapper or the core. I was so excited to light this one up, I completely overlooked that. But the rest of the stick has definitely made up for all the rest of that combined. Oliva did a great job on getting the stick to perform. The performance of this stick is absolutely wonderful. It has thick plumes of smoke, almost better than that of Drew Estate, which is very hard to come by. The ash is very nice and white, and it holds on in a 2.5 to 3 inch chunk, which is absolutely amazing. The burn time is not fast, and it's not slow, but it's on the slower end, so be prepared to be down with this stick for quite a while. Even though this is a darker wrapper cigar, I'm really impressed with the sharpness of burn on this thing. It has not needed any touch-ups. It's crisp and pure right across and not needing any help, so that's awesome. Where do I even start with the taste and the smell of this thing? Wow. This thing absolutely delivers. It has so many notes on it, and at first light versus halfway through the stick, it is very rich to start, and it kind of tapers off when you get about halfway through it, but man does it ever deliver. If you are a cigar lover, you are going to love this thing. I know what you're telling yourself. The same as usual, Pete, we know this is your favorite part of the show, the taste and the smell. But for every cigar smoker, I think this is your favorite part of the show, because this is where the heart of a cigar is in the taste, the aroma, how it makes you feel as you smoke it. And Oliva definitely delivered on this stick. The aroma is just like that of a cigar lounge. It has that sweet black pepper, brown sugar kind of aroma right as you walk into a cigar lounge, but maybe even better. And I don't normally say that. The flavors start off really rich in this thing, but it's right up my alley. I absolutely dig this stick. This is probably my number 2 or maybe even my number 1 cigar at this point. Starting off, you can expect flavors of earth, spice, leather, oak. They're all there, but the earth and the spice are the mainstay at first. You're gonna think that it's a very high-powered, potent cigar. The strength of this thing isn't that bad. It's a medium to full-bodied smoke, but anybody can smoke one of these. The retrohale is my #1 favorite so far, and I dare say it. This thing has plenty of aged tobacco, sweetness, a little bit of smooth spice in the retrohale, right up my alley. If you ever hear me mention musty tobacco, what I mean is an aged musty tobacco, but it's mustiness in a good way, if that makes any sense. That's just the word that I associate with it. But on the retrohale, that is how I tell the quality of a cigar, and when that is there, I know I'm going to dig the cigar, and I hope that maybe you can identify with that too. As you smoke this thing down, the flavors kind of die down and get a little bit more faint, but the earth, the spice, the leather, all that is still there, but just in different proportions. But the earth and the spice are the mainstay in the second half of the stick, and the retrohale remains mild. You can do it down the entire cigar, it's no problem at all. So cheers to Oliva on this one. Like I said, my #2, maybe even my #1 cigar at this point. My final thoughts on this stick, I think you know where I'm going with this. This is my #2 or #1 stick, like I've said. If you can get your hands on one of these, I only paid $7 at my brick and mortar for one of these, which is incredible for what I'm getting for the price. The construction was great, the taste and smell was phenomenal, the performance was awesome. This should be a $15 or a $20 stick in my opinion all day, especially for it being up to #2 or maybe even #1 for me. Sorry Tom, this outdoes the Liga Privada #9 by a long shot for me, and a lot of other sticks that I've had. It's right up there with the Vintage 12 by Perdomo that I like a lot, but this one it's a great stick. So if you can get your hands on one, like I said, go out and grab it. This has been Pete with For Pete's Sake Have a Cigar. Thanks for joining this mid-stick review. We'll catch you later.